What's up, you guys? It's Mary.
And Alma.
You guys have to like,
subscribe,
share,
and comment.
Down below this today, we are reviewing Harry and Meghan episode 2 of the Netflix documentary series.
Yes.
And we're going to get right into it, you guys. It is all about the media and it's all about Meghan.
Yes.
This episode.
Yes.
And we're going to get right into it.
Yeah, she talks a little bit more about her family, but about the media frenzy that's going on now that the press knows. And they're just out of control. I just found it so creepy. The news media sitting out in their cars, out of the house. You know, when you hear about it, and you're like, what? I used to always say, oh, what are these celebrities complaining about? I mean, you're a celebrity. It comes with it. I always used to be the one saying that. But when I see it now, it just looks so creepy. How will I feel if someone's just sitting outside of my house? Like cars, you got 5, 6, 7 cars outside of your house. As soon as you walk out, they're clicking. They go to your neighbor, ask them to put a camera,
a live
at the back
streaming
seat,
camera at your backyard.
And pointing at your backyard so that they can, see you. They ask your neighbors all kinds of things. They pay people, your co-star at work. They try to bribe him and say, "Hey, we'll give you 70,000."
If you say you're having an affair.
If you just say that you're having an affair with her, just like how you guys are, having this little affair on the job. It's part of the scene. It's part of the suits that they're doing. Just say that you've been having an affair all this time with her while she's with Harry. Foolishness. Like, they're willing to just straight up lie, concoct stories, all because they didn't want this woman to marry this man.
I know.
And for what? Like, why not? Why? Because you think that there is a certain person he should marry and it should not be her? Like, he can't be in love? You don't think he's gone through enough in his life to just, have someone that he loves, have someone that, no, it wasn't chosen for him. It's someone that he just fell in love with. Like, I just felt like it was really, really... I thought it was really
effed up. It was really effed up and it was really creepy.
Yeah.
It was quite sad.
And I like to see, though, Dorian, when she came and she's like, I am just ready to have my voice finally being heard. Because during this whole time,
the mother didn't really
never heard from her. I just saw her as this yogi person who was going, with her dreads to her yoga studio, doing her thing. She's also a social worker. Very demure, very, calm. Yeah. Unlike Meghan's dad that we saw. Yeah. And his side of the family with that crazy half-sister. Yeah. Who was trying to make it seem like she raised her or whatever, Meghan.
Stuff like that. I mean,
I used to call her pushy princess. Like, what? And she's like, I saw you a few times in my lifetime. Like, you guys were already adult children when we were there, and we left when I was 2 years old.
Well, she's just lying to get money.
Just lying. Like, this sister is 17 years older than her, so when she was 2, the sister was 19. Yeah. How are you raising her when the dad is there? How are you raising her? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just craziness.
And what was even sadder was that it was the mother, I think, of her half-sister, but she was really close to her daughter.
Yes, her half-sister's daughter was not raised by the half-sister. Yeah. So the half-sister's daughter actually was raised by the grandmother. By the half-sister's grandmother. So by the father's mother.
So really, Meghan had no relation or any communication with her at all. And like, she was close with her half-sister's daughter, but not with her.
Yes. So it's kind of like a niece.
And unfortunately, she wasn't even able to be invited to the wedding, which I thought was so heartbreaking.
And just because of that side of the family. Like, the sister was doing so much. She was making up these stories. She was getting money, too. She was being paid to get money. This woman was blonde. She dyed her hair brown so that she could look more like Meghan. Like, it was crazy the way this woman was going around like something bad. She was in a wheelchair. She was just out of control.
Because you have her mother's side being all calm, and then you have her father's side acting the plum
fool.
Plum fool. And it was just so disgusting, I felt. You know, like, she's here coming up with all these lies and everything and stuff like that, and then it just seemed like she just didn't care. And then, like, she can't even be invited to the wedding,
yeah.
which I thought was a little... I felt like the British media, which I guess they're advising Harry and stuff.
Well,
I felt like it was BS.
The palace, they call them the firm. The people who control the workings of the royal family.
Yeah, like the press.
So
or whatever.
they make not just the press, but those people who wear those hats, who control the whereabouts of the royal family, who control that whole, enterprise. They're the ones who are making these decisions and telling her all these things. And she was like, up until the end of the second documentary, she was like, up until we were getting married, I was still believing in the promise that they gave me.
Yeah.
That, as time goes on, the press is going to be nicer to you, kinder to you, the more they get used to you. Just don't say anything. Kind of put your head down. Don't make any waves. I mean, she went to the point of wearing, like, muted colors.
Like white.
She never wanted to stand out. She never wanted to get attention of her own. I mean, this is a woman who, in her own right, she was on the come up.
Yeah, for sure.
She had a whole bunch of hundreds and thousands of followers. She was coming up with her suits. Like, people were knowing who she was.
Yeah.
When she met Prince Harry.
Yeah.
She's also a woman who has done things. We saw her speaking. She was a UN ambassador in terms of women issues.
Right.
She had traveled to Rwanda. And when we see her in her travels, I don't see her with anybody else. She was just there by herself.
Yeah.
She traveled to India. Like, she was doing things on her own.
Yeah.
We also saw when she was younger, she did that thing for Ivory dish liquid.
Yeah.
Like, she had done things. And it was nice to just see that. Her going back to her school, the teacher showing her what she had written. Like, she was in this school for 10 years. When I get
famous one day, I'm going to come back and let everybody know about the school. You guys are going to be famous as well. Yeah. Which I think was so cute.
It was very, very cute that she wrote that. That was like her 12-year-old self. And, just look at how...
time has...
It's like kismet. Look at how this stuff has come back around.
And that's come true.
I know. So it was really beautiful to see. And then, of course, she talks about...
race.
And she talks about, I guess her mom never had that conversation.
Which I think is a good thing.
I've never had that conversation with my children.
We never had that conversation. It wasn't until...
Like, now that you guys are adults, like, we talk about certain different things.
Even going into college, I really did not even hear about the whole race thing. I think I was really I guess I knew more about race was like maybe my senior year of college.
Yeah.
I guess that's when George Floyd was happening.
Yeah.
I think that was the most serious event that I had witnessed. And then I think we had talked about some of the like events that not like events but things that I had gone through in college, and then you're like, this is why explaining what had happened, like this is what this was and this is what this was and everything. So it was really after college, but I really was happy that I did not grow up with that whole thing about race. Like
I didn't,
because I just felt like it would have been, now what I'm thinking about, I feel like it would have been I don't want to say burden, but burden. I don't want to have to like walk around like with this weight on my shoulder, like, oh my god, this whole entire race of people hates me because of my skin color. I can never be successful because of this, that, and the third. Oh my god, these people are out to get me. Let me not do this or whatever. Like, I feel like it hinders your I just felt like it would have hindered my growth if I knew that all while I was younger. And that's something that we are
actually going to talk about a little more at length. To those decisions that we made and kind of related to what Meghan was saying. And we'll talk about that in a separate video because that will make this video really quite long. We will definitely talk about a separate video this week. For sure. About that and go really into details as to my mindset. I'm married to an African American who grew up in Louisiana. So we will talk about my mindset coming into it, my father's mindset, that's what I was going by. And then me talking to my husband at the time and what he thought as an African American man who grew up, who was born and raised here in America in the Deep South. And then, so we'll talk about that. If you guys are interested, we'll have it on another video. So just, let us know.
Because, Meghan, she said that she didn't grow up with that whole conversation. She didn't grow up with
that. And she said, even when
she said she wasn't treated like a black woman until she moved to the UK.
Right.
I guess maybe she's talking about the bad side of it. I
think what I understood that to mean like she did not get the backlash sometimes that black women or black people get.
Yeah.
And she didn't get that in the press here in the US.
Yeah.
You know, they're making a big deal about the fact that she's biracial.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I think that's what she's talking about. Like, I did not get this in the US.
Yeah.
Nobody was here calling me monkey.
Yeah.
Talking about my race, because she was married at one time to a Caucasian man, I do believe, prior to Prince Harry.
I mean, even her agent said that he didn't even know she was biracial. He thought she was just freckled, that she had was
and that she was Caucasian. That's what he thought, right?
Yeah,
right, because she's actually really, really light.
Yeah,
and so
but he said when he found out, then he started.
Right.
But then he said when he found out that she was biracial, then he started putting her for black roles.
And then she wasn't getting the black roles, and they said, "Well, why is she here?" And he's like, "Well, oh, she's actually biracial," and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, she's not black enough." Or then she goes over here, well, she's not white enough, and so she felt like she didn't know where she really fit.
But I think it's unfortunate. But I feel like her box is her being biracial.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like
and everyone
it's just
goes
like you try
that.
to. I feel like the issue is when you try to put yourself in a box. It's kind of like a box that really isn't yours. Like, you know, you say you have Caucasian people, you have black people, whatever. Well, I'm biracial. I'm both.
Yeah.
That's my box.
That's my box.
But I guess, you know, the whole biracial
and then you
thing,
have
weren't
to
able,
go, and then they have to look at their scripts, because I'm a writer, right? So they have to look at their script and see, because every writer, when you write for something, you always have in your mind, well, I do anyhow, I think most writers have this too, they have in their mind what they visualize,
right?
Who those actors are going to be,
right?
Okay, and so if you have in your mind, well, I want a black woman like myself, dark skinned, or I want this kind of whatever, that's who you want.
Yeah.
So it's not like, that's just how it is. That's how it is with everything, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
The thing is, you don't want to put yourself in a box that's not really, that fits you. Yeah. You want to be in your own box.
So they might say no, but I don't think it's necessarily that they're discriminating against you. I don't feel that way. You know, as a writer, if someone says, no, this is actually for, I'm looking for a black woman, not you.
Well, if they go and they tell you that you're not black enough, then, I mean, that feels a little bit like discrimination. Well, I mean, you know.
But I think when she interpreted to herself,
that's how she felt like it,
I wasn't black enough for this role, right? Or I wasn't white enough for this role, you know.
I feel like biracials are probably still trying to figure out where they fit in. I feel like that's still something going on. But I feel like it was kind of maybe even more of that back in the day. But I feel like they kind of are finding themselves now. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not biracial. Yeah. So I don't know the struggle.
You have to talk to a biracial about that.
Yeah.
But I have some biracial friends. But, you know.
Was that all that for this episode?
No, there was actually something else that, she talked about when she met we'll talk more about the race thing
later. Yes. I know that's a viral topic right now.
It is. It's a big topic, and I don't want to just fluff it around it. I want to really talk about it. But she talked about when she met the family, Harry's family.
Yeah.
And she was kind of surprised about, no, let's go back to the race thing. Her mom was called the N-word. These were the little things that kind of, went within her life.
Yeah, but
her mom was called the N-word. She said the mom never talked about it.
Not even when it happened. Like, she didn't even say anything.
Ripped the steering wheel like her knuckles were white. And she said she was silent the whole time going home. She also said when she was with her mom, sometimes out in the grocery store, they'll ask the mom, where's her mother? The nanny. Yes, and where's the mom? Because she was so much lighter than her mom that they probably thought that she was this Caucasian girl. So those were those issues that happened in her life. When she met the royal family, she said she was surprised that they had the same formality of the curtsy and being a certain way when you're outside.
It also happens inside the house. So it's not like you take off your bra, you take off your clothes, you're like, woo, let me be free.
Let's be free. Hey, Queen Elizabeth, how you doing, Queen? How you doing,
girl? If you don't put your clothes back on.
Yeah.
Girl, if you don't put your curtsy back on, I don't know you like that. Oh, by the way, don't call me either. You cannot call me unless my assistant say I'm available. And if he lied to you, oh well, I didn't know you called me anyway.
And I wonder if maybe they did that because, there's that same familiarity breeds contempt. So maybe they're like, we
I
don't
feel
want to
there's
get
a lot of
too
excuses
familiar.
for them to be like in a gilded
Yeah,
cage.
I mean,
like I can't even see myself
I can
living
see-
life like that.
Yeah.
I mean, even Harry said he talks to his grandmother the most when he left.
Yeah, when he
Ain't
left,
that insane?
Yeah. I know, because now they're not close by. I mean,
God
we
forbid
have,
somebody tell me I can't talk to my grandmother. Man, if you don't move your dusty self out the way.
I mean, we have in some African culture, in a lot of African cultures, when you meet someone who's older or whatever, you will bow, or you will actually, it's kind of a curtsy, but you're going down with one knee. It's kind of like, we kind of bend down like how you'll bend down when someone's proposing to you.
Yeah.
So that's how we used to actually greet our parents when they got home for the day, right? My mom was like, don't bother with that with me, but we had to definitely do it for our dad.
Yeah.
But they're from 2 different countries. But anyway, what was the other thing? Oh, so I just want 2016. You know, there was this media frenzy, a lot of hatred, but a lot of things were going on in 2016.
Yeah.
You know, we also had like that Brexit thing that occurred.
Wasn't Trump elected then?
Trump was also elected. Make America great again. Make Europe great again. Make London great again. So all that stuff was going on. So it was really
a horrible time for Meghan. I can only imagine. It's like at first you're getting it in London, now you're getting it in America. Because I remember so many attacks on black people when Trump came in and all that stuff.
Yeah. So she was
really
going
a mess.
through. Yeah, she was going through a lot. There was a lot of increased racial attacks in the UK. So a lot of stuff was going on leading up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, y'all, was that everything?
That's the second one. I think that's everything. That was everything. There's nothing else that I had over here.
Yes, y'all, but it's Mary.
And
you guys give us a like,
subscribe,
share,
and comment.
Down below your thoughts on this whole Harry and Meghan, documentary.
Yes. And I really love the history.
Yes, I know. It's so awesome trying to see what's going on with them and everything. But thank you all for watching. Bye.